What's going on, everybody? Got a little impulse buy today for an ally of my Deathwatch army I'm working on. And I think just because it's called the Death Strike missile, it felt like it should be in my army. It's probably terrible. Looking at the rules, does not seem like a good unit. Be curious if anybody's running the Death Strike. By the time I actually get the Deathwatch up and running, depending on how much I focus and really, buckle down on it, it will be close to probably Christmas and chapter approved, so it could get addressed in points or rules changes because it's such a weird unit. It's like really expensive. It's like 163 points or something. It can't shoot the first turn. It can only shoot the second turn on a 6. It can only shoot the third turn on a 5. It can only shoot the fourth turn on a 4, which pretty bad. It should probably start the countdown at 6 on the first turn, so you have a chance at firing it, and then work its way down, and then maybe, I haven't double checked, but there should be like a stratagem for that, and there might be. We'll check that later. I probably should have looked at that before I started the video, but so I'm running the Primaris Deathwatch army, and I play a lot of AdMech. That's my main, I don't know if it's my main army, but that's my 8th edition army. I started and fully painted for 8th edition, and I love it. But I notice when I play in events, or in just some games in general, but mostly events, there are units that kind of dance around in the back or hide out of line of sight, or they fire and fade, or there's kind of movement things, they're hiding on an objective. And with the AdMech, and then I was thinking it's going to be the exact same problem I'm going to run into with the Deathwatch, is I have no line of sight weapons. So I was going to add 1 to 3 wyverns, which are the 4d6 strength 4 mortar tanks that reroll all wound rolls. Yeah, I know you could spam mortar squads. I'll probably have a couple infantry squads, and I might put a mortar in them. I just picked up a Steel Legion army off somebody today. I have my Scions. I have the very small amount of Vostroyan stuff because I sold off most of them. But all these Steel Legion guys are painted. And then I have some Cadians and stuff too. So I got like 100 Scions and 10 Torox trucks and 5 Lehman Russes. So I got a lot of iGuard options for allies for dealing with this little problem. It'd be like if somebody deployed Dark Reapers out of line of sight, and then say they go second, or you go first, and you can't deep strike over there and get them, so they're completely safe for your first turn, and then they're going to pop out and blow something up or 2 things up on their turn. So if you put in 12d6 strength 4 reroll all wounds, wounding on 3s with full reroll, and possibly rerolling 1s to hit, or rerolling random number of shots, or whatever regiment you choose, I feel like even if you just killed a few, which you probably should kill more than a few, but even if you just killed a few, that's super important because, something like a Dark Reaper is going to probably double shoot, and they're very efficient. Also, people like to take the exact same, basically little command battery. I don't think you're going to see that go away because they're still bringing 5 CP to the army, which all the other CP hungry armies are definitely going to want, and I'm going to be bringing 5 CP to my Deathwatch. I've never really felt the need for my AdMech, but I think it would be cool to ally in some no line of sight weapons. So I bring in, so you're going to still see the iGuard, and what happens is these little infantry iGuard squads run around on objectives. They hide in the back and shoot mortars at you, or they hide on the objectives around the board with move. And being able to put in 4d6 shots on them anywhere on the board, basically, I'm starting to think there's probably a lot of value in that. Obviously, there was a lot of value in that originally because they went up in points in chapter approved, and we'll see them possibly adjusted again in this next one, although I doubt it because I don't really see anybody taking the Wyvern at all anymore. So it'd be interesting. It might go completely under the radar, or maybe it's, pointed out to not be that efficient or that good for like your top ITC players or whatever. It's not me. I'm just playing to have fun. So brainstorming, little units hiding around the board, having trouble getting to them. Wyverns. They have a heavy bolter. They have a 4d6 strength 4 gun that rerolls all wound rolls. And that's kind of a big deal because even if you're toughness 7, that's 4d6 shots hitting on 4s, wounding on 5s, but a full reroll, you're going to get another 30% out of that reroll. So it seems pretty good. So even if there is no target, like, some eye guardsmen or whatever hiding in the back, there still will be, a chance you're going to take a few wounds off, some tanks or whatever, right? So let me know your thoughts if you've had any experience with the Wyvern. Definitely if you had any experience with the Mana Core or the Death Strike missile, because I just picked one up. I have a Mana Core over there also, so if they're what I feel like doing, I could run 2 Mana Cores. I got a Medusa today, which I could run as a Wyvern or Basilisk or something. I own a Griffin tank, which I think has rules. I think the Medusa has rules too in Forge World, which I pretty much don't use, but it'd be interesting to see what those rules are. So I have another Basilisk barrel. So if I bought some plastic card, I could make a second Basilisk, and then I would have 2. So that could be 2. I'm buying a Wyvern tomorrow off a guy, and then I might go ahead and buy one from the game store that I'll be hanging out at, even though I just bought that one, the Death Strike, but whatever. So that would give me the options of 2 Mana Cores, 1 Death Strike. The other one's already built, so unless I make a missile or something, I can't really convert it. Or, I could figure out what Ren counts as, I guess, in a friendly game. But so I have 2 Mana Cores or 2 Death Strikes, 1 for sure if I wanted, 2 Basilisks if I wanted, 2 Wyverns if I wanted, 2 or a Medusa, Griffin, right? So I got a lot of no line of sight weapons to choose from now. And I do own a Whirlwind, which is still in the box over there. So if that was in the Deathwatch Codex, I would just take the Whirlwind, because I think that would be cool. So let me know how you guys deal with those little units hiding in the back. I know there's deep striking on turn 2, that sort of thing. Also with the Deathwatch, I think it'd be cool to run some assassins. This is my brainstorm of trying to set a target army to play in like a tournament or an event, like an LVO or just one at the local game store, and that'll give me something to work towards. So I need to come up with a little more finalized idea, because right now with my Deathwatch I just kind of paint a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and now after quite a while, since basically the book came out, I have nothing playable because I have 6 aggressors, 6 interceptors, maybe 9 interceptors, 6 I think, 10 reavers, 2 lieutenants, 5 intercessors. So kind of a weird mix. I got a repulsor tank I'm working on, or started working on a while back. I haven't touched it in a while. And I got 5 more intercessors there, a apothecary and a librarian behind me. So I'm thinking something along the... Here's my thought. I think it visually would look very cool. Primaris, infantry horde, Imperial Guard, artillery tanks in the back. And then maybe an assassin or 2, depending on points, that sort of thing. And maybe some rattling snipers, because I love the halflings. So let me know if you guys have had any experience with Deathwatch plus Imperial Guard, whether you played against them, whether you play them. Also, make sure you go 2 videos back now to my Necron Lord giveaway. You gotta subscribe, you gotta comment on that video, and like the video, like this one too. You know, smash that like button. And it's not an arm's reach, but we are giving away the Necron Lord. And if you don't want a Necron Lord, we got a Dark Eldar Lilith Hesperex or something like that. Or an orc like a Mech Boy, which they are just cranking out orc trucks and cars and buggies and bikes. So maybe that Mech Boy will become very valuable in the near future. Also, obviously, Norkvember confirmed. Please subscribe. Go join the giveaway. We're doing it tomorrow night when I get home from the game store. So you have less than 24 hours basically to go sign up, and all you gotta do is subscribe and comment. It's gonna be awesome.